Righto, Ellen and I are going to dry fit this guy today, this bad boy. Pretty happy about getting the other window in. We got this one in the other day on my own, but this one's a little bit heavy and I need to make sure it's dead level. And of course it needs to be level with this one. So it's a bit complicated getting levels on a boat, but the whole thing's pretty level as it sits in here. I've just got to rely on spirit levels and my digital gauge to make sure that I get these things level. But what I've got to do, I've got to hang it off a couple of batten screws in place to mark out the actual cutout, because the cutout has to be dead accurate as it was with this one. And the good thing is that both of these doors actually slide, so I can pin it on both sides and hang it. I just need, I'm going to need Ellen's help, and she's down in there working with Zach. Zach's having a wiring festival down in there. He's doing an awesome job. Mate, look at that. That's some serious wire. What wire are we on to now? Oh,
we're onto the big stuff.
The big 4/0 stuff.
Holy moly, this stuff's next level.
Yeah, it is next level.
Even getting the sheathing off it.
Yeah, they're a bit awkward, Ellen. Zach got to show you how to get them out.
Ellen got it out.
Oh, well done.
Did better than me.
Because you're a legend, ain't you?
I'm pretty good.
Boat girl. Look at this team.
Dad always underestimates me.
No, I'm not. I don't
I
underestimate you. No, it's just we've been pulling them apart, trying to work out how to do it. That's great, done. Well done. You're doing that, but do a little bit at a time.
Oh God, look at the size of this. It makes the 5/16 hole look microscopic. All right, 2-person job to crimp this wire. I'm going to hold that on.
What do I do?
Okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Keep going.
Keep going now. Yep, wait. Yep, go. Yep, go. Keep going. Is that about it?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, yeah. That's not coming off. Whew. We will test it though. I do like crimping these in 2 locations because it gets more of a surface area hold on the actual cable. So better conduction, where if you just do it in one spot and it's splayed out in the rest of it might not be touching firmly on the actual crimp, on the lug. Alright. So this way you get more surface area firmly pushed up against the lug. So you're using the thickness of your... Oh, wow. That's not coming off, is it? You can almost hang off that. That's crazy. Oh. Oh. Whew. Oh. Wow. So if you can feed me some black 2/0. Okay. All right. Wait. Oh yes. Oh yes, it's yes. Oh really yes. Yes.
Do you want me to put the thing on it?
What thing I want it?
The crimper.
I'm not quite up to that yet.
Well, anyone would think I don't do anything around here. Look, I've got the team down here. What's your job, Ellen?
I'm the crimper.
You're the crimper. What's your job, Zach?
Oh,
just to fit.
The wriggly worm.
Just to fit. We've got a foot down here. How am I supposed to fit in there? If you do a good enough job, I should never have to be in there.
Yeah, that's the point, right?
Yeah, that's good. Brilliant. So we're hooking up the big stuff. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Pretty happy with that.
Right, 1 sec.
Get the shakes.
Never. Too strong.
You got the shakes just then. I saw you get the shakes. Your bicep was shaking.
No, I'm just activating.
Do some curls, girl.
That's it.
That's it. Well done. Nice one. So what I've got a couple of pins there. I need to move it into the wall and get it dead level so that beeps. But I need to push it against the wall. The problem is the handle is stopping it. So can you just get that end and lift it in gently? So you've got to sort of see how it's hanging on two batten screws here. We just need to lift it first and then roll it in. That's not going to work, is it?
No. You may need to cut a hole where that is. Because you know you're going to cut it out anyway. Why
Oh,
don't
that's
you
a good
just cut
idea.
hole there?
Why don't I do that? Oh, I want to save the piece. Yeah, why don't I just cut a hole? I think that's a great idea. Yeah. See, this is why you bring your daughter along. They're younger and they're smarter.
What do you want at 0?
That's about as good as I'm going to get, I think. Alright, so we're pretty much in place. It's not that easy to get a... It's never a perfect hole you cut. You always undersize the hole. That's my method. But they're absolutely beautiful, aren't they?
Very good quality.
Oh, the quality's incredible.
We like the colour.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's either that or silver, and all the hatches are silver, so. Oh, that, I think
Good tinting.
yeah, it's good. And all the deck hatches are all got a grey tint on them the same, so. That's brilliant.
Oh wow.
Want to push gently? Wow.
Look at that.
Oh, that hurt.
Whoa.
Wow, look at that.
There we go.
I'll have a beer, please. Hold on.
That is awesome. Whoa. That opens it up so much. Just imagine being in here. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, that's cool. That looks good, eh?
Oh, gosh. Wait. How far am I off? Is it sitting on the bottom?
Yeah. Just up here.
I might actually get someone to hold it there for me while
Let me mark it in here.
it's probably better if I mark it because I'm going to be the one sanding it.
Well, I can actually see. 1 second. So,
Mark the inside part. It's the, oh yeah, we'll do the outside first.
like
That's it.
there.
Ready for a test fit?
Ready?
Alright, cool. It's taken about an hour, but I think we've got it. You ready? Alright, let's go. Oh.
Beautiful.
Wow. That just went in like perfect.
Looks pretty good.
Well, that's spot on. Hey.
Whoa.
I'm very happy. Very happy with that. Brilliant. Brilliant stuff. Have a look at the outside here. Yeah, you have a look. Hello. How good's that? Can I have a beer? Thank you. This is going to be the servery. Fantastic. Well done, Ella. That's a good job.
Goodbye.
Close it properly. That's cool, eh?
Now I can take off my mask.
Yeah. Fantastic. Right, I'm going to get rid of all the black. I haven't had a look at it from the inside yet, so is it pretty smooth?
Yeah, it looks good.
Oh, brilliant.
That's awesome, guys. Good job.
Yeah. Sorry about the noise, mate.
Oh.
Sorry about the noise. Oh, no, that's looking fantastic. With that window in, our hot water service is here, and I'm actually going to try to get it in place. I'm not really sure whether I'm going to mount it or not. It's an ISO temp basic 40 litre 240 volt hot water system, or 230 I think, 230 volt. Yeah, the only problem is, don't think it's going to fit through the door. So I might have to go through the back hatch. It's actually going to be mounted on this rear bulkhead. That's what I'm planning to do. It's actually a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. It's 40 litres, so fair size. You've got to take into account it's going to weigh at least probably weighs 15 kilos on its own, and then another 40 litres of water in it at all times. So that's 50 kilos hanging off the back bulkhead. So you got to take all these things into account and think about the engineering behind that. So I'm hoping to mount it vertically. I may have to mount it horizontally, but vertically seems to be the way to go. It'll actually take up less space. Nice to start getting some bits and pieces in the boat. I've got Zach and Ellen in there, and they're going hard in there doing the wiring. And Ellen's become a crimping expert. Zach's re-rigging a couple of big bus bars. Well, that's looking good, mate. Wow, look at the size of those wires.
Happening, isn't it?
Wow, we've got some bigger bus bars in there now. We've increased the size of those to 300 amps.
Yep.
Is that going to work?
That's all done. This one's ready to go.
So that battery protect's going to work?
Yep. I'm just figuring out the routing of this.
Cool.
Go. That. Yep.
Fantastic.
Get it all crimped.
Brilliant. Brilliant stuff. Box myself in. I can't get it through either the door or the hatch. So it's time to start cutting out the doors by the sound of it. Yeah, it's only a couple of centimetres, but it's enough. Because it's a cylinder, it's not going.
Yeah, well, you're going to make the doors bigger anyway.
Yeah, the doors are going to be bigger. It's just I didn't want to do them yet, but I'll have to do them before I put the whole water system in. But that's the way it is. Enjoy yourself?
Mm-hmm.
It's fun, eh?
Yeah, I'm not doing much at the moment. Just feeding the wires.
Have you been crimping?
Yeah, I was before.
You've been helping Zach, and every time Zach doesn't have to come out of that hole, that's actually help.
Oh, it's so much help.
Because it's bloody hard work getting in and out of that hole, and it's better if he just stays in there. In fact, I'm just going to glass him in.
Yeah. It's a
And then-
self-repairing boat, self-healing boat.
Yeah, I'll just leave him in there, and yeah, that'll be it. He'll be like the guy in Stowaway. Have you seen that movie?
No.
Oh, you got to watch it.
Young.
Well, the maintenance technician, when they get up into space, they find a maintenance technician in the air conditioning duct.
Oh.
He passed out in there and they took off.
Oh.
Interesting story, yeah, you have to watch it.
Is it based on a real story?
No, it could happen though, I'd imagine. Some poor guy. Okay, so I'm going to put that hot water system back in its box for another day. That certainly is not going to happen today. Got a couple of jobs to do right now. Now I'm all suited up and I'm in my spray room. Now Janet was in here this morning. She came in to do a morning's work, and I just basically sicked her onto cleaning up the factory because I've been pulling stuff out left, right and centre and not putting stuff away and just sort of putting it down. And you know, God love her, she came in and cleaned the joint up for me. But she left me with a couple of jobs. She's left me with a roof liner for the hatch and another forward hatch. Now this one's ultimately going to be a mould for our large anchor winch hatch. Now we've already made all the hatches required, so we're going to be making this one basically as an extra, and then we'll do another one just to keep it as a mould pattern for later on should we ever replace it. Now the other thing I need to do is a few months ago Janet prepped this freezer box. Now we have an isotherm 130 litre freezer unit to go inside that. It's like a membrane that runs along the back of it, and then there's a separate compressor that's going to sit in our freezer area, and I need to respray that with gel coat. Now I'm going to do a layer of gel coat and I'm going to let that set, and then I'm going to give it a sand, and then I'm going to do a layer of flow coat, and then we're going to polish it up and try to get it back to as good as new. Again, it does have quite a few stress cracks in it. And this isn't from lack of trying. This thing's as rigid as. It's just the fact that it's been stored for about 10 years, probably under a garage somewhere. And there's no point in me remaking something like this. It's simply going to be a freezer unit, and it's going to be pretty good as it is. It's basically a chop matting thing. I think it was just made up with a chopper gun, to be honest. Anyway, but a new coat of gel coat is going to make a massive difference to it, and we're hoping we can get that polished back to almost as good as new finish and save me having to make another one. Following my dilemma yesterday, I've not been able to get my hot water service into the engine room. I've decided I'm going to cut out my doors. I've been squeezing through the doors for 2 years now, probably over 2 years, ripping my shirts open, and everybody complains. They're all like, God, those doors are so small. Even those that are a lot thinner than me are complaining about how small the doors are. And to be honest, at some stage, you just got to cut your losses and make it happen. So I'm all suited up and going to make a shitload of mess. But I'm going to basically cut those out. I've decided on a profile that I like, and it's going to have a small radius at the top, which will sort of follow with the window profiles. I'm trying to keep everything reasonably consistent. I mean, it's almost impossible in a boat to keep everything consistent, but if I can keep the door frames at least reasonably consistent across the boat, and the radius is all similar, then I think I'll end up with a much nicer sort of cosmetic result. I'm not that worried too much about actually fitting the doors. I've allowed for a 11mm door jamb all the way around the outside, and then a 40mm architrave or a surround around the door itself. And the only problem I have is that these modules actually close down in a V shape down towards the floor, so I am a little bit limited in the width that I can do this door in. But I've just marked out the door to our main cabin, and it's quite a nice one. It's a little bit wider, and given that it's going to be the one we're going to be using most, I figure, you know, a centimetre wider is actually nice, and that'll actually open that up slightly and really create a nice opening to the actual cabin itself. Now, we've been perusing a lot of catamarans and they have big open spaces and big aluminium arch frames and everything in them in bulkheads. I don't have that luxury. This is an older style boat, very, very narrow hulls on this boat as well. So we don't have 6 foot wide hulls to deal with. We've got lucky if we've got sort of 4, 5 foot hulls. So our doors are going to be certainly a lot narrower than they would be on a modern cruising cat. But, you know, that suits Janet and I. We're basically building a boat. We're not building a performance catamaran, and we're certainly not building a condo on the water either. We're building something that's going to service us for the next 10, 15, 20 years. Who knows how long we'll cruise for, how long we'll use the boat for. We just don't know. Ultimately, this is our project. We'll just build it as we want. But yeah, so I'm also going to do this bathroom door. This is the one that's really plagued me because it's only got a 30 centimetre opening at the moment, and it's driving us nuts squeezing in through there, particularly now we're starting to do the wiring. Zach and Ellen were here yesterday, and he's really done an amazing job in here. We've got a few things to sort out in here. We've got a lot of heat shrinking to do. We ran out of heat shrink, but we thought rather than stall the project, I'll just come back, pull it all apart, and get to know the system that we're putting in. Started to put in our solar PV circuit breakers and the like. We've got our Victron system pretty much set up. We did actually swap out a number of these, which are we had 150 amp bus bars. We've gone for a 300 amp bus bar here, and also on our high load section as well. Plus we've got our 1000 amp Lynx distributors down there. So we're over speccing the whole thing. Given we're going to be running, you know, not a lot of devices. There's never going to be 10 people on this boat at any given time, all using devices at the same time. And if we have, we've got 800 amps. So, you know, if we run out of power, we just do what we used to do and not have power. But that's just the way it is. But I don't think that'll ever happen. I think I've got enough solar planned, enough battery in our banks to handle pretty much every USB charger and laptop that we'll ever have on this boat. And yeah, pretty happy with that. So let's get into this. I'll get my powered respirator out because it's going to get messy.